In 2002, Shayara Bano got married. For a short while, her life looked completely normal, but over the next 14 years, she endured a steady, escalating campaign of mental and physical abuse from her husband and his family. Then, in 2016, her husband ended the marriage. There was no mediation, no court hearing, and no warning. He simply issued a triple talaq. This timeline represents a 14-year legal and emotional union. Under the practice of talaq madad, or instant triple talaq, a husband could instantly sever this entire timeline by simply saying the Arabic word for divorce 3 times. The wife had no say, no right of refusal, and zero legal recourse to stop it. In a matter of seconds, Shayara lost her home, her marriage, and her security. And at the time, the Indian legal system fully sanctioned this unilateral abandonment. Shayara was left with 2 options. She could walk away and accept a centuries-old tradition that erased her rights, or try to take on an entrenched legal system that was heavily stacked against her. What happened to Shayara highlighted a glaring contradiction in Indian society. A religious custom was actively overriding the basic human dignity of female citizens. Instead of remaining silent, Shayara chose to fight. She filed a petition taking her domestic dispute straight to the Supreme Court of India. She didn't stop at suing her husband. Her petition directly challenged 3 distinct practices: instant triple talaq, polygamy, and nikah halala, a custom requiring a divorced woman to marry and divorce a completely different man before she is allowed to remarry her original husband. At the foundation of the Indian legal framework is an unmoving bedrock of constitutional fundamental rights. Shayara's team argued these specific divorce customs were fracturing that bedrock, and that religious traditions cannot supersede a woman's right to equality under the law. By framing her abuse as a constitutional violation, she forced the entire nation to examine whether religious freedom was being used as a shield for discrimination. The petition ignited a massive ideological debate across the country. Conservative groups argued the courts had no authority to interfere with religious personal law, while human rights advocates demanded gender justice. As the arguments unfolded, thousands of Muslim women who had suffered in silence recognized their own stories in Shayara's. They began organizing and rallying publicly behind her case. After months of intense deliberation, on August 22, 2017, a 5-judge constitutional bench delivered its final verdict. The Supreme Court ruled in Shayara's favor. They officially declared the practice of talaq madad as arbitrary, legally invalid, and entirely unconstitutional. A deeply entrenched mechanism of patriarchal control, which had dictated the lives of millions of women for generations, was dismantled in a single ruling. But a court ruling alone doesn't instantly rewrite the rules of society. The Supreme Court's decision created a legal mandate that explicitly forced the Indian legislature to take action. The government responded by drafting and passing sweeping legislation. This new law officially criminalized the practice of instant triple talaq, attaching severe legal penalties to its use. For the women directly affected, the relief was tangible. Husbands who attempted to throw away their marriages in seconds would now face immediate jail time. This chart outlines the strict legal hierarchy cemented by Shayara's victory. It places constitutional rights firmly at the apex. Any personal or religious law that sits below it must conform to those human rights, or it will be struck down. All of this sweeping legislative action and legal reform tracks back to a single moment in 2016. Shayara Bano chose to absorb the shock of an instant divorce and reject the silence expected of her. The Constitution always guaranteed equality, but rights written on paper stay dormant until an individual actually stands up, challenges the existing power structure, and demands that those words be enforced.